Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back in my mama's kitchen. Today we're doing the onion show, part one. Onions, they are a divisive vegetable. A lot of people love them, a lot of people hate them. I just think that a lot of people that don't like them haven't really had them cooked properly. Some people like them raw, some don't. Some like them cooked, some don't. Me, I like them any way you can do them. Now, what I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to be doing some sautéed onions, also known as caramelized onions. With caramelized onions, what makes me mad is a lot of recipes online say caramelize your onions or saute your onions. They don't tell you it takes 20 to 25 minutes. It is a long process, but it is worth it in the long run. I like to do a big batch of them and then store them in the fridge. They freeze really well too. Store them in the fridge the last week and a half. I also pre-dice onions as well, and raw onions, and keep those in the fridge. So I've already got them handy when I need them. Just do it all once, get it done with. A lot of recipes and a lot of chefs put brown sugar in their onions when they're sauteing them to make them caramelize faster. Yes, it is a time saver, but it adds a lot of sweetness to them, and if you're doing a savory dish, you don't really want a lot of sweetness. Now, today I've got 3 pounds of onions. I've already chopped up most of them because I didn't want y'all to see me cry, because I always cry when I cut onions. All right, shut up. So I've got one left to do, and I'm going to show you sprouting end, and then you've got the root end. Sprouting end, root end. You want to cut down the middle, but directly between the sprouting end and the root end. Now, a lot of people make the mistake when they're cutting their onions. You cut off the sprouting end, which is correct, but then they turn around and cut off the root end. Don't do that, because that lets you hold the onion together while you're cutting it, gives you more stability, and keeps you from cutting yourself. So you peel off the first layer. And you do the same for the other side, or the half. Now, for slicing your onions, I'm just going to cut it once down the middle, because I want these in smaller sizes. If you want them big slices, just keep it whole, don't slice it down the middle. So when you cut them, as you see, you get 2 different sizes, or 2 different halves. Keep your fingers curled back and use it as a guide when you're cutting your onions. Oh, I'm so glad that the camera's not on my face right now, because I'm already crying. I love y'all. I love y'all so much. Sorry, I had to be goofy. All right, let me get the pan going. I've just got a non-stick pan here on medium, and I'm going to put some oil in. I'm going to put in about 2 tablespoons. And then I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of butter. And I'm going to make a mess and drop a knife. All right, while that heats up, I'm going to show you how to dice an onion. Now I've got a half onion with the root end still on. So just run your knife halfway through, and then you're going to make it little slices down the onion itself. And then just cut them how small or as big as you want. And then just throw away the root end. Now people say, oh Jeff, when you're cutting onions, you get onions smell all over your hands. No matter how much I wash, no matter how much I dry, I can't get the smell off. Little secret I'm going to show you. So I've washed my hands with soap and water. They still smell like onions. Stainless steel. Run your hands over stainless steel, rinse them off again. Onion smell is gone. All right, my oil and butter is all melted. And I'm gonna add in all these onions. Yes, it looks like a lot of onions because it is a lot of onions. But guess what? Like spinach, they're going to shrink down as they cook. Should have used a bigger pan actually, but this will work. What you want to do is you want to toss them in the oil and butter. Actually, I'm going to add another tablespoon or so of oil. And this is just vegetable oil. You want a really non-flavored oil. You can use olive oil. I wouldn't use coconut oil for this process. Now I'm going to add some salt. It's about a teaspoon. And a lot of black pepper. A little seasoned salt, about half teaspoon. And a dash of garlic powder. Now the salt is going to help draw moisture out of the onions and help them cook faster. Because I've got a bunch of recipes that I can use with these sauteed onions. And I want them to cook fast so I can get on those other recipes. The onions are now cooking and sauteing, and it's going to be a while. I'm going to go ahead and put a lid on them and let that steam. And these other onions that I diced up, I'm going to put in an airtight container and pop those in the fridge. So I've got them whenever I need them. Now let me tell you about the recipes that I'm going to be making with these sauteed onions. I'm going to be making French dip sandwiches, and they are mind-blowingly delicious. And then I'm going to be using all the leftovers from the French dip to make French onion soup. So those will be 2 upcoming videos. And also I want to know what y'all want me to cook. Please send me recipes, send me ideas. My sister sent me a recipe for a caramel pecan cheesecake pie, and I'll be making that in the next few days. And let me tell you, it is delicious. So, you know, as long as people keep sending stuff in, I'll make it for you. I'll try my best. Nothing outrageous, all right? Yeah, I know some of y'all. I'm watching y'all, okay? So, I will check back in with you in just a few minutes. Welcome back. As you can see, the onions have cooked down about halfway. It's been 10 minutes, and they're starting to get a light golden brown color to them, which is just what we're wanting. So I'm just going to stir all these around. Like I said, this takes a while, but it is so worth it. The payoff is just incredible. You can put these on burgers, sandwiches, all different kinds of things. Just let your mind go wild. Anything you put onions on, you can put sauteed onions on. So put the lid back on, and we'll check them again. I check them about every 3 minutes. So I'll check back in with y'all in just a few. It's been 3 minutes, and as you can see, they're already getting some color on them. Now at this stage, they're gonna possibly start to burn a little bit. So what I wanna do to keep them cooking but not let them burn is I'm gonna add some low sodium beef broth. I'm gonna add about a half a cup. Maybe a little more. Just stir that in. And then as they cook, you're gonna add probably more beef broth, probably another half cup to a cup. You want them to get a dark golden brown color. As you can see, they've got a pretty good color on them now. Some people will stop there. I like darker sauteed onions, especially for my French onion soup and for my French dips, because the darker the onion, the darker you get the onion, the more flavor you're gonna have in it. And then after they cook a little bit longer, probably another 5 minutes, we'll check and add seasoning. Okay, these onions have been cooking for about 22 minutes now, just shy of, and they are perfect. They're right at the color we want. Let's do a little taste test real quick. Just a tad more salt. Turn that off. We have some beautiful sauteed onions. Very delicious, very tasty. You can put them on so many different things. Omelets, scrambled eggs, frittatas, quiches, like the one that I made earlier. If you're a vegetarian, you can use you can use vegetable broth instead of beef. And then you still make your French onion soup with that. Just don't try to do the beef sandwiches because that defeats the whole purpose of being vegetarian. So I'm gonna let these cool down, and then I'm gonna put them in a container and put them in the fridge. And then later on, I will start all the other recipes. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe, and let me know what you want me to cook, and I'll be more than happy to try it for you. Thank you.